Hey, what's going on, you guys? So today I decided I was going to make a YouTube video. I've done a whole bunch of shorts, but I've never uploaded an actual video before. This isn't scripted, so I'm just going to start talking, and if you guys want to watch, cool. In this project, I'm showing you guys the process of taking a piece of wood and turning it into an actual cutting board. This is the theme of the month project for May. I got this piece of pecan right here for $10 off of some guy on Marketplace, and it's just been sitting in my shop for about 2 months, and decided I was going to go ahead and do something with it. So the first process, you want to go in and remove all of the bark, because the moment you try to lay an epoxy layer on top of that bark, it just instantly breaks off. So I set the bark down, went ahead and measured everything out, cut it, and then took it over to the miter saw, cut it again to get everything squared up on the ends, which is what you can see me doing right here. So running these miter saws on a live edge slab can be kind of complicated at times because you can't butt that edge all the way up against the gate that you've got on these. So a lot of times this ends up being kind of an eyeball game. You draw your line, you bring it down, try to get it as close as you can. Usually I like to leave a little bit extra on the edge just in case, so I don't cut it too short. I mean, you can always cut more. You can't always put more material on. But after you get everything squared up over there, I ran it over to the circular saw, cut it down the middle, and then took it over to my table saw to get everything squared up to the exact width that I wanted. After running it through this table saw, which by the way is significantly easier after you've ran it through a circular saw, because you can just take that flat edge, stick it up against your gate again, and then proceed to cut down the middle here. So like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm freehanding this, and we're a minute 40 in and I have nothing else to really say. Hats off to those people that can go on here and make these videos and talk and talk and talk and entertain you the entire time through, but I'm not really that guy. So I'm going to explain out the rest of the process and then put a nice music overlay for you guys to listen to. Once we're done with the table saw here, I'm going to take it over to the joiner. I square it up as much as I can, get as much of that excess material off as I can, and get everything nice and flush before I take it to the planer. Once we get over to the planer, I run it through probably 5 or 10 times a side, get everything as squared up as I can before taking a sander to it, and I sand it down quite a bit, then take it on over to the epoxy table. The epoxy that I use is Total Boat Epoxy. It's a 1-to-1 mix for their deep pour, which you can do a half to 2 inches on. Usually I'll do probably 32 ounces or so, mix that up, set it in there. One thing that I will say is that if you decided to do an epoxy project that involves wood, you need to secure that wood down, because if you don't, it will get up underneath it, costs you way more in epoxy than you actually need to use, and it just makes a mess of everything. You're going to have to plane it down a whole lot more. So go ahead and secure that wood, put some clamps down if you need to, get everything set, and then take it on over and pour that epoxy in. So that's really all I have to say about this process. You just get your wood, clean the edges up, get all the bark off of it, take a wire brush, take a rubber brush, get it squared up as much as you can with a miter saw or circular saw of your choice. Cut it down the middle, you flop the sides, get everything squared up on your table saw, take it to a joiner, take it to a planer. And if you don't have those tools, I mean, there's tons of other options out there. Those are just helpful options to have. I didn't always have a joiner, I didn't always have the planer. Before that, I did a lot of things with circular saw and sanding. You can kind of make do with what you have, and eventually, as you sell more items and more items, you can buy those nicer tools for yourself, which is what I've slowly done through the years. I'm sure that lots of other people have as well. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I don't know if I'll make another one or not. We'll see, but I'm going to keep posting the shorts. So.